How to make API with the help of Django.
Hi
That
guys, today we are going to make an API using Django. If you are familiar with Python and Django, then today I'm going to show you that how to create API in Django, a basic API, which will not return something big, which will return a small response. Okay, first of all, we need to create a folder. You can name it anything. I'm naming it dummy Django. Okay, then I'm going inside that folder and I will open VS Code inside this folder. Open terminal and I'll write code dot to open the VS Code and exit to exit the terminal. And now we are inside the VS Code. And now first of all we need to create a separate environment to install Python packages, because we don't want to mess up with our Python packages in global environment, so we need to create a local virtual environment. Okay, so for that we need to write python 3-m when env is our environment name. And now we have created our environment. You can check it, and now we will activate it using source. And when activate now environment has been activated. And now next we need to install first of all Django, the main package Django.
okay.
Pip install Django in it. The Django now has been installed inside this virtual environment, not globally. So
Okay.
that's what we wanted. Okay, now we have installed a Django. The first step is to create a project.
Okay.
So to create a project in Django, write Django -admin start project, and the project name I'm giving it dummy API. Okay, the project has been created.
Okay. That's great.
Sorry, I think I mistakenly created this structure in which I have one folder, and inside this I have again dummy API and manual.py.
Okay.
But if you want,
So how to
if
avoid this
yeah,
critical situation?
if you don't want this outer folder
Yes,
to
yes.
contain ththis inner folder and file, you can use a dot after your project name.
Okay.
So first of all, let me remove it. m-rf dummy API. Now I'll
Okay.
create again using a dot.
Yeah, yeah.
Now-
yeah, 1 second. Also use the dot. Okay.
Yeah, now I will not get any outer folder. This is our folder and this is our manage.py file in here in current
Okay.
directory. Okay, now I will create a app Django admin start app, and app's name will be API. So now we have our API app, and inside this API we will write our function in views.py file, which will get called when we'll hit the API. So this function I will name it long running function. Okay, long running function, you can name it anything. I will return response after some time. That's why I'm writing it long running function. And I'll write first of all we need to pass a request inside the function that is mandatory. And now I'll write a for I in range. I'll give it a
I want to one API simply returns the two arguments like one names and comments, etc.
okay, you don't want a long running function. Okay, so we are going to create a function which will get called whenever we hit the API in the browser, or we'll call the API inside a JavaScript function. So the function name, you can write anything. I'm writing dummy, very creative name, dummy. And then I will return a response which will be an HTTP response. We cannot directly access HTTP here. Okay, the VS Code already imported it. This is the feature of VS Code. Okay, now we will pass whatever we want to return as a response. So first of all, let me prepare the response. So I want first name, which is my name, first name, and last name, which is SNWS and all. Okay, so I have created a variable response which contains a dictionary, but as you know that the response should be in JSON format, so we need to convert it into JSON format too. So to convert it into JSON, this Python dictionary into JSON, we need to import a module named JSON. Okay, so now we will use JSON.dumps to convert this dictionary into
What is the
JSON
dumps?
object. Dumps is a method of JSON object which converts a dictionary or a list into object, or
Okay,
not
okay.
object, but into JSON,
Okay,
into
makes
JSON
sense.
object. Okay, so I'm returning it. Let me save it. Now I need to create the urls.py file for this API. So I'm creating urls.py. Here let me copy the code from here.
Why the need of to create a new
Okay,
urls.py
we
file?
need we need urls.py for for creating our API endpoint. What
Okay.
should be the name of our API?
Okay.
Means after domain, our domain name, what should be the name of the API?
Okay.
So
Okay.
for that,
Okay.
so I'm gonna copy the code from this projects, the urls.py inside the project directory. I'm gonna copy the code of urls.py from here and going to paste inside this urls.py, which I created inside my app API.
Okay.
I don't need this import admin, so I'm getting
Okay.
rid of this. I just need path. Okay, and I want the name of my API as just API. Okay, so whenever user hit write the URL with this API at the
Okay.
end, and he will hit he will put hit enter, then we want to call our function that I recently created. The name of that
Okay.
function was dummy, so I want to call that function here whenever user hits this API.
Okay. You need to import.
So from current
Okay.
import views. So that function is inside views.py. That's why I have imported views.
Okay. Okay.
So
Makes
now
sense.
I will call from views.dummy is my function name.
Yes.
So whenever this API get called, this function
It's
will get
similar to
triggered.
JavaScript.
This function will get triggered, dummy function. And it will return the response. Okay. And one more thing, we have to register our app. Our app's name is API, so we have to register it inside our project folder settings.py. So inside it, let me register my app name. It is API.
Okay.
Okay. So I think this is enough, and now we can run our server python manage.py run server, and server is working. Now we can open it inside in the browser, and we can use our endpoint here, which is /API, and hit enter and say, I think I forgot. Okay, so I got a 404 error. I think it is because our project folder doesn't know about our URL inside our API app. So
Okay.
we have to register this urls.py inside our main project's directories urls.py. So inside this urls.py, I have to register the path of this urls.py here. So for that, I have to import a function which named include. So this is the function include, and I'm gonna include this urls.py here. So I'll use path, and I'll leave it as it is, and I'll include what is my app's name. It is api.urls, the urls.py inside API app. I have registered it here. Now our API should work. Let me run the server, and now if I'll run this URL inside browser, I'm getting dummy takes zero positional argument, but one was given. Okay, let me see what happens here. Okay, it is saying that dummy takes zero positional argument, but one was given because dummy takes a positional argument, which I forgot to pass request request. Okay, save it, and it should work. And we
Yeah.
got our response.
Yeah. That's
First
great,
name,
man.
last name. So now, so this is how we make an API in Django, very basic API which just returns this as response.
Thank
That's
you.
it. Thanks for watching, and do subscribe for more
No, no,
videos
no.
like
It's
this.
no need to for subscribe.